Hello and welcome back to Bookmarked Chronicles. Today I'm doing my December wrap-up and my January TBR. I typically don't set a TBR for December because there's just too much going on with holidays and family and whatnot that I never really know what I'm going to be able to get done. But I'm trying to start the year off strong, trying to work some previous goals into the new year and actually accomplish them. For my wrap up, we're actually going to start with a book that I read in November. It was the only book that I read in November, so there was no need to do a wrap up, but it was House of Hollow by Krystal Sutherland. This is the book that Kindle recommended to me for my 12 Recs by 12 friends, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's a very weird fantasy. It's about 3 sisters who go missing when they're really young, and they were gone for about a month and then they came back. But after a little while of them being back, their father starts to believe that there is something wrong with them and that they are not actually his children. Fast forward to when the girls are older, the oldest sister goes missing and the other 2 have to try to find her. Like I said, I did enjoy it, but it does get weird and dark. If you don't like the idea of creepy crawlies or rotting bodies, then maybe don't read this one. Moving on to books that I read in December, I only have a few. I was actually supposed to read this back in October for Black Women-a-thon. That didn't happen, but here we are. The first one is Forging a Nightmare. This is the book that Vina recommended to me for my 12 Recs by 12 friends, and I really enjoyed this one as well. It was a 4-star read. Would have been a 4.5 if they didn't do the romance subplot. I saw it coming, but I was hoping they would avoid it, and they didn't. I talk more about this in one of my Vlogmas videos. It was one of my recommendations, so I will have that linked in the cards and in the description. If you enjoy sort of like medieval times and angels and gods on earth, then you will definitely enjoy this one. But again, definitely watch that Vlogmas video because I talk more about it extensively and compare it to a popular YA novel that I think it's better than. Then I attempted to read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This was the book that I was reading to give Tessa Bailey a second chance after I gave Fixer Up 2 stars. I DNF this at 25%. I am not going to read anything else by Tessa Bailey. I just don't think that she's for me. I really dislike the main character in this. She's like a super spoiled rich girl. And I know that she's supposed to have like this character arc and growth and everything, but in the beginning, for someone to be the same age as me and doing the things that she's doing and saying some of the things that she's saying, I can't do it. So this is not for me. And the final book that I read in December was Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is book 2 in the Legendborn cycle. I didn't enjoy this. I gave it 1.75 stars, and I will be doing a full drunk book review soon. This one picks up about a month after the end of the events of Legendborn, and there were a lot of things in here that could have made me like it. The execution just it just didn't work for me. Like I said, I'll be doing a full review, so we'll talk about that another time. Now for my January TBR. For the first 3 months of the year, I will be participating in Izzy and Shay's Read What You Own challenge. Izzy asked if people wanted to participate in host reading sprints, so I'll be doing a couple of those. There will be sprints at least once every week for the first 3 months of the year, so I definitely need this because I keep saying that I want to get my own TBR down and then I kind of don't do it. So I'm trying to actually do it for once, and we're starting off strong here. I'm trying to not only read what I own but also make a dent in my series spreadsheet. For the first month of the year, I'm trying to read sequels so I can start crossing off books and series and figuring out if I'm DNFing, if I'm going to continue, if I need to get the next books and all of that fun stuff. I'll leave Izzy's announcement video for Read What You Own in the description. She decided to make different rules for herself, and so I realized that another problem that I have is forgetting about things that I have on my Kindle. I do have Kindle Unlimited. I have a ton of books checked out that I have not touched. So in that vein, I'm also going to try to read at least 1 ebook per month as well. So this month I will be reading Bound by Tiffany Roberts. This is the final book in the Spider's Mate trilogy. So this is good because it knocks off a book on my Kindle Unlimited, and it also completes a series on my series spreadsheet, which I really need. If you're not familiar with the series, it is about a Vrix, which is like an alien spider species thing. He comes across a human, and then she has to figure out how to survive on this strange alien planet. It's also an alien romance, so you can put the pieces together from there. I do have a drunk book review of book 1, so I will have that linked in the cards and in the description. But I am excited to actually finish the series because the second book ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing is only really putting about 4, maybe 5 books on my TBR per month. I'm not a huge mood reader, but I fell into multiple slumps last year and I don't want that to happen again. So what I did was pick one book that I want to read. I had 3 of my friends pick books for me to read, and if I read anything else, it'll kind of just be whatever I feel like picking up, but still going with the sequel so I can get this spreadsheet down. First book that I have was picked by Jess, and it is The Bride Test, the second book in the Kiss Quotient series. I love the Kiss Quotient, one of my favorite of 2022, so I'm really excited to continue the series. I also want to be the tiebreaker between Jess and Robin on how they feel about this book. One of them liked it, one of them didn't. I think I'm gonna like it, hopefully I do, but we'll see. I haven't actually read the synopsis. I just know that it's about Michael's cousin. Good enough. Whatever, we'll talk about it in the wrap-up. Next is Robin's pick, and we will be buddy reading Homicide and Hollow Hollow by Mia P. Manansala. This is the second book in the Arsenic and Adobo series. Arsenic and Adobo was the first cozy mystery that I actually liked enough to continue the series, so I'm hoping that I like this one since book 3 came out at the end of 2022, and hopefully I will continue further into the series as it goes on. Again, I didn't read the synopsis, but in the first book, we follow Leela and her family after someone dies in their restaurant and they are accused of murdering that person, and you know, the whole amateur sleuthing, finding out what really happened and all that fun stuff. So I think this one will be pretty good. Next, I had Tasha pick a book for me, and she chose The Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. This is the second book in the Burning Kingdom series and follows the Jasmine Throne. Again, I did not read the synopsis. If I like book 1, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy book 2. I don't really feel like I need to read the synopsis. But anyway, there have been mixed feelings about the Jasmine Throne, and I liked it. I gave it 4 stars, so I'm excited to see how this happens. The romance was very slow burn, so I'm interested to see that progress, as well as the whole revolution that we're seeing happen. I think it's gonna be really good. This is kind of a chunky book, so I do have the audiobook to also follow along, but I'm hoping I enjoy this one at least as much as the first one. And the book that I chose for myself was Reaper of Souls by Rena Barron. I read Kingdom of Souls, and I really enjoyed it. I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed that one. I bought this book before I finished book 1, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one also. Plus book 3 is supposed to be coming out sometime soon, so hopefully I enjoy this whole series. In the first book, we're following Ara. She is the daughter of 2 very powerful witch doctors, but she does not have any magic herself. There are ways that she can gain magic, but in order to do so, she has to give up years of her life, and she becomes so desperate that she is willing to do that. The ending of the first book, I didn't see it coming. I really didn't, and I like being surprised, so hopefully there are more surprises in this one. So this is everything that I'm putting on my TBR, but a few other sequels that I also need to get to include Our Violent Ends, which is interesting because apparently everyone else kind of hates these violent delights. I thought it was okay. I didn't mind it. Risky Assets by Rachel Eccles, The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is actually a prequel, but you get the point. So I have an entire list of other things that I need to get to, and hopefully I can start making some way through all of my series. Let me know if you have any of these or if they're on your TBR. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.